Yes, my people, what's good? You know, you're locked into Spill TV, lock in or get locked all the way out. And rapper Ghetts has finally gone guilty to the charge of death by dangerous driving. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to the young brother that lost his life in that accident. I think we all seen what happened. We all seen the footage. It was horrible to watch, man. And now, obviously, rapper Ghetts has gone guilty at court to the charge. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into Zed's World. Shout out to Zed's World, bro. That man be supporting my content all the time, bro, and I got nothing but respect for him. So shout out to Zed's World all day long. As well as that is another Midlands brother putting on for the Midlands. You know, doing content consistently. So be sure to go check out his page, man. Yeah, man, go check him out, bro. He's doing big things. But back to the situation at hand. We're gonna get into what Zed's World had to say. Let's go check it out, man. This situation, bro, is just so unfortunate. Do you know what I'm saying? A young man's lost his life. At first, it seemed like Ghetts was, you know, trying to play the long game, long the court system out, you know, by not putting in a plea. And basically, when someone does that in a court case, it means they're waiting to see what evidence is against them. I think Ghetts knew from the get-go, bro, the evidence stacked up in drones against him, bro. Do you get me? So there was no way I think he was ever going to bust that case. And if he'd have tried giving the evidence against him, he would have lost and it would have damaged his image a lot more than it is damaged already. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that would have been seen as evil, that you're making a family have to relive what's gone on when really and truly you're not going to get away with it anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? So common sense has to prevail at some point, you know what I mean? In all of our decisions as humans, you know what I'm saying? You have to use your common sense, and sometimes it is better to just hold your hands up and, you know what I'm saying, take accountability. But let's get into this, man. We're going to get into what Zed's World had to say. Like I said, shout out to Zed's World, but let's just get into this and see where I go on. Let's go.
Ghetts has pleaded guilty to causing death by dangerous driving. It's officially went to court today and he pled guilty. You know what? To be honest, the way the evidence was stacked up against him, I don't blame him, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And the early plea is going to help down the line. You get me? Because if you try and take it to trial or you drag it out and then get to your first day of trial, then plead guilty, you're not going to get the same points that you're going to get for pleading early out the gate. Now all he has to do is kind of work on, you know, pleading his case to get the lowest he can get.
I stopped the video there because get in the comments and let me know, guys. How do you feel about Ghetts possibly getting a reduced sentence because of his early plea? Now, let me explain something. For those of you who don't know about the court system, when you get charged with a crime and you go to court, if you plead at your first hearing, you get 20% taken off your sentence. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 20%. And then the later down the line it goes, the later you plead, the less percentage you get off your sentence. So that's by law. But do you agree that in this situation, when someone's took a life, do you agree that they should get leniency in their sentencing? Do you agree with that? Me personally, I do, because I believe everyone should have a chance. Every person deserves a second chance. Do you know what I mean? As long as that person understands and realizes what they've done and they show remorse, I believe he should be given a second chance. So I do believe he should get, you know, some sort of leniency as long as he is remorseful enough and he comes forward and gives a good account of how he understands what he's done. Do you know what I mean? I do believe that. But get in the comments and let me know if you do, guys, innit? But let's get back into this and see what Zed's saying, man. Let's go.
You get me? But I even said in my other videos, if I was him, I'd just plead guilty. We've seen the videos. We've seen all the evidence of what happened. We've seen how the odds were just stacked against him. So everybody can stop dragging him now. He's accepted responsibility for what he's done, yeah. And you get me? He's gonna face the consequences.
Well, there you go, bro. You heard what Zed had to say, bro. What do you reckon, man? Do you reckon now that people should stop dragging his name through the mud? You reckon he's gone guilty? You get me? Giving the benefit of the doubt. Bearing in mind, bro, a young man has lost his life, bro. Rest in peace to that young man. And the crash was absolutely horrible. I think people have to remember what gets done after the fact. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it was deep, bro. It was bad, innit? Do you get me? But I do believe there comes a time when, everyone's had enough, innit? Enough is enough. Like, there's a time and a place for everything. And I think, like, now's the time to look at things for what it is. He's gone guilty. So he's obviously come to some sort of reason in his head as for the reason why he's gone guilty. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, whether that be that he's just doing it to get a shorter sentence, or it is genuinely through remorse and, guilt for what he's done, that's yet to be seen. But who are we to judge that? Only he knows that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I guess we just have to wait and see if it is, because time reveals everything. I always say time is the only thing in this world that cannot lie. The time cannot lie. And the time reveals everything, bro. But I think it was Chris Summers put up a statement of when Ghetts went guilty. I'll put it on the screen for you guys to read. I'm not going to read it out. You guys can read it. Do you know what I mean? If you want to stop the video and read it yourself. But also, guys, yeah, we're going to head over to Man Like Rage's page, because there's more bits and bobs coming out about Ghetts' situation. Obviously, you all know Supercell, the series that was on Netflix. Ghetts was meant to be re-scripted in that. I think he died in the last one. I think Man Like Rage was saying he died in the last... I watched it, and I'm sure he died in the last episode. But I think Rapman was going to do... they have the option in there where they can bring the characters back to life. Yeah, so Ghetts was meant to be re-scripted back into Supercell. Obviously, he's in jail. That ain't going to happen. That's going to have to be scrapped. You get me? So it's going to be interesting to see how they fill that role and how they deal with that. Also, there was meant to be a joint collaboration coming out with Stormzy and Ghetts. Apparently, that's obviously had to be scrapped as well. So, can you see the amount of opportunities and the amount of things that Ghetts has lost out on now because of this? And I'm not for 1 second, trying to play a pity party for Ghetts, because I don't feel sorry for him at all, bro. And the only reason I don't is because of how he dealt with the crash afterwards. If he had stayed with the brother and, dealt with it proper, maybe man could have felt a bit of remorse for him. But as it stands, the only thing I'm glad is that he's gone guilty. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it takes pressure off the family. They ain't got to sit down and go through another court case. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But let's get into what Man Like Rage was saying about this situation, man. And we'll come back, man. Let's go.
Supercell. Let me start with Supercell. Obviously, we know that Supercell has gone back into filming, and Rapman and all the other actors have been posting themselves on the set of filming, and they've been showing that Works is undergoing for the new season that's going to be coming out on Netflix. And, it's fair to say that a lot of people did watch Supercell, and a lot of people liked it. And a lot of people liked, the storyline, the story behind it, and the story behind the name Supercell. Obviously, he related it to sickle cell and all of these things, and saying that people were looking at it in a negative way, but, try and look at things in a positive light. Towards the end of Supercell, I believe he died or something. But if you've watched it, some of them get brought back to life and all of these things, and they get made into kind of like some sort of machine robots or whatever. So even though he passed in the last episode, there was an ability to bring him back to life, bring characters back to life. And allegedly, that's what Rapman was planning to do, to bring Ghetts back into it, because of the response he got from Ghetts' role within that series, because he played it so well and all of these things. So
one thing I think we can all say about Ghetts' role in Supercell is that it was groundbreaking, bro. His performance in that series was like next to none, bro. He absolutely smashed his role in that. But it's sad, bro, because he's lost a very, very important role and a very important time in his career, bro. Because we all know Ghetts was he weren't in the public eye like that over the last couple of years. It's like he started to have a revival. You get me? He was coming back out, started making music. Obviously, Supercell boosted him as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So there was going to be a lot of other things off the back of that for him, bro. As a matter of fact, I think Ghetts was about to go absolutely big. And I mean blow up massively, bro, if it hadn't have been for this situation. But there's another thing that's been messed up in the pipeline, which is his collaboration with Stormzy. that would have been another big hit, bro, and another big thing coming out of the culture. But let's get into a bit about what's going on with that, man. Let man like Rage tell us what. Go on, let's go.
But another thing, allegedly, that's meant to have happened was Stormzy and Ghetts. Ghetts and Stormzy was allegedly, I know you be saying allegedly, meant to release a joint project 2026. Now, due to everything that's happened, Stormzy's team has been forced to scrap the whole project with Stormzy and Ghetts that was meant to be coming out, I think, early 2026 or summer. I'm not too sure.
Guys, I think it's safe to say that Ghetts has literally threw away his whole career and probably ruined the rest of his life. We also can't forget the life that's been lost in the accident and the mourning and the grief that the family is going to have to go through off the back of Ghetts' decisions. Now, does he deserve to lose all of this? Yes, he does. Because, you know, he broke the law and he done something horrible. Do you know what I mean? And he never tried to go about it in the right way after the fact, which makes it a whole lot worse. So, does he deserve to lose all of these things? Of course he does. But people need to really look at this case and take a good look at it, because this is a perfect example of how not to throw away your career. Do you get what I'm saying? And especially, bro, the young generation coming up in this industry, look at things like this. Learn from the mistakes of others. Try and not learn from your own. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a luxury when you can learn a mistake off of someone else and you haven't got to go through it yourself. That's a luxury. So look at this, learn from it, and just don't make the same mistakes, man. But anyway, man, shout out to Zed's World. Shout out to man like Rage. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Like I said, my love and my condolences go out to the young man who lost his life, family, and him also. May he rest in peace. Guys, get in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole situation, man. Does Ghetts deserve all of this? Does he deserve to lose everything? Does he deserve to get a reduced sentence? Does he deserve the public to start taking him in again? I don't know, guys. You let me know in the comments, man. You already know what time it is, man. Spill TV. Lock in or get locked out. Don't sleep on me.